Hey my beautiful light beings, Sam here back again with another video. Normally I do my live recordings, my videos do my live recordings on Instagram, but I really want to pour into this YouTube channel just because it's been on my ass about doing it. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot easier to just record, do all of this stuff. For those who do not know who I am a spiritual consultant. I handle specifically shadow work healing. So if you have any issues with your healing journey, understand that shadow work is the first thing that you got to tap into in order to begin like truly doing some deep-rooted healing so that you can ascend, so that you can progress, so that you can go ahead and push past all of the things that we have dealt with on this physical plane that has prevented us or delayed us from tapping into our higher selves. So with that being said, if you want to ever tap into me for use my you need any assistance with your healing journey, you need any assistance with your shadow work journey, I do have digital journals that are available. I am not accepting clients right at this very moment. However, please inquire, because once I'm back in the energetic space to where I can give to the collective in that way, you'll be the first on the list. You feel me? Other than that, yeah, just tapping with me if you need any type of assistance with anything. And if I do have the energetic capacity to do it for you or just give any knowledge, I will be more than willing to do so. Just so you guys know, these videos are specifically for the more higher ranking beings that are waking up. This is not saying that if you are of a lower spiritual rank that you cannot learn anything or retain any information. However, this information is not really watered down in the sense of like, I don't have time to sugarcoat or like simplify anything for anyone. You understand what I'm saying? We are here at a point where we have to wake up. If you are not already up, if you are not listening to the inkling to get up, then my nigga, at this point, you're trying to stay in a karmic state. You want to be in a karmic cycle? You don't want to be in a karmic cycle? Get up, heal. Let's get to work. The collective right now is in dire need of our assistance. And that requires for us to awaken from this system as well. That requires for us to tap in with our spiritual team, tap in with our ancestors, build our relationship with source, create a bond and create and establish a presence in the spiritual realm so that you can be able to maneuver through this physical plane properly, and you can be able to hear more clearly so that you can know exactly where your assignments are, what you have to do, the capacity in which you have to do it, and so on and so forth. With that being said, it's been between me dealing with, because that's what happens whenever I see certain things begin to reflect in my person and my physical reality. First, I do the internal work and I'm realizing, okay, what is it that I need to learn? And within every lesson, being the healer that I am, I do know that in learning the lesson, that is also something that I need to teach. So within me being the student in that moment, I find out what that learning lesson is, and then I deliver it as the teacher, so that you don't necessarily have to go through the same experience. You can just learn. Or even if you are going through the same experience, you now have guidance and a higher perspective to help push you forward. Okay, so today I really want to keep explaining upon why it is essential for the ego to die in regards to vanity. So vanity has become such a hindrance, I feel, to the collective period, that we are literally missing out again on divine unions. We are missing out on divine connections that we are supposed to be having, because we've fed our ego so much with materialistic things here that we continuously only put that, use that as the deciding factor on someone's worth and value here on this physical plane. What a lot of people are going to come to realize is that the average person who is actually here to provide the help in which you need, we really don't give two fucks about the material shit. Most of us had to sacrifice all of the material things that we've had. And when you start to master the art of detachment, you start to live. Give me a second, baby. You start to live a more minimal lifestyle in regards to, you start to live a more minimal lifestyle in regards to the situations in which you have. Whatever circumstance, whatever financial circumstance that you're in, you just start to understand that the less things you have, the better. You understand? Not saying that, oh, okay, just because you've awoken that you're not going to like nice things, or you're not going to want designers, or you're not going to do that, but it's not going to define you. That's not going to be the deciding factor in if you are a valuable human being or not. That is not going to be the determination on if you are worth love. Because that's what's going on right now. Right now, we are in such a deep state as a collective on the vanity train that we are literally basing on if we should be with someone who we love, someone that we know feeds our soul, someone that we know makes us happy, just because they don't have on the clothes that's deemed socially fitting. You hear how dumb that sounds as I'm saying when I say it? Yeah. A lot of us within the collective have literally passed up on whole angels and higher vibrational beings because they chose to not have on Gucci. A lot of us will meet our divine partners and will allow the shallow and superficial people that we hold around us to determine whether or not that person is good for you, because we choose to base their worth on the material things that they have. That aspect of self needs to die out immediately. And that is not based on your spiritual ranking. That's just on the moral compass of being a decent fucking human being. If you cannot be seen outside with someone because they have on something that is not deemed fire or fashionable, to the point where you're embarrassed, to the point where you don't want to be seen with them, to the point where you will literally avoid contact at all costs, all because I want to please my friends. At what point do we get, and forget the spiritual aspect of things where, you know, you're building that relationship with source so you understand a deeper, there's no need for to really be attached to all of that stuff, but just on a regular level. If all you have around you is nothing but superficial individuals, what do you think that your reality is going to reflect? How are you supposed to actively have meaningful relationships and connections with people if you can't get past the fact that they didn't spend their whole check to keep up with the Joneses. One thing that I do pride myself on is something, I had a mentor when I was growing up, and he, shout out to him, as unhealed as he is, shout out to him. One of the biggest lessons that he taught me, before I even got out of high school and into the real world, he was just like, listen, if ever in life you want to buy something, especially let it be a luxury like designer, whatever, if you can look in your pocket and you cannot make that purchase 3 times over and still be comfortable, then you do not need to be making that purchase right now. So for me, my entire perspective on purchases was never, oh, I want to do this, I want to get this designer, this designer. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't love it. We would never say that. You never sit here and say that. But I never understood the point of me making any designer or larger purchases and I haven't purchased at least one asset. I haven't at least reached a level of contentment and comfortability on a financial plane to where I'm not in an impoverished environment, to where I am not suffering on a physical level for survival in any sense before I just drop designer. Now, hey, I catch something on sale, by all means, I love a good sale. But my life didn't consist of that. And then I sat back and I thought about it, right? I thought about my experience. One thing, Lord, the phone fell. One thing I'm always going to do when I have recordings is that I do not mind speaking on myself. That's the whole purpose of me being called to do these videos, is because it's important. You understand? One thing about me is that I remember how often I would get called broke, or people would say, oh, Sam, you don't have no money, and you don't have this, and you don't have that, and make little jokes, and you don't. But the thing is that I was sitting here reflecting, and I'm in a phase now where I've decided to pull my energy back completely from the collective outside of the channel messages and videos like now. And as I've been pulling back my energy, I realized that I didn't have an opportunity to even look at the designers or pay attention to that because I was so busy financially pouring into everyone else. So I was buying other people's designers, and I was getting other people things, and I was getting all, and then I'm looking back at myself and I'm like, but I'll second guess if I need to make this purchase on something. So for me, the vanity thing never stuck because it was just always in my mind, can I make this purchase 3 times? It was always in my mind, am I at a point where I'm comfortable purchasing expensive items and I don't have any type of investments? So now we get to this point in our journey where, because there's different ego deaths that we have, but I think vanity is one of the, I think it's like I feel it's like this. Give me a second. Give me a second. It's one of them things where, give me a second. It's one of those things where you reach to a point where it's like, okay, I've learned to live without all of these things. I've learned to function without all of these things. I've learned to carry on and still live a very fruitful life and still be able to survive within society with all of those things. then you get to the point where you elevate and then your social circle starts to change, because that's what I'm dealing with now. It's seeing how bad it is. Like, it's really bad on the poverty side, but it's really bad on the middle class and up side. Because again, and I said this, I posted a reel the other day, I can count on my hands the amount of like newer connections that I've had, where the individuals who make a good substantial amount, both from them and individuals that don't, and you know, they do the front end thing, where the judgment has always been the same. And it was always just the constant, immediate just writing off when it comes to my worth, or at least their perception of what my worth and value actually is. And it was a few times recently where it was just determined that I was not of value in their sense, because I don't dress in the, I guess, appropriate attire that would deem me socially acceptable or socially valuable. And it's not something that's bothering me, but it's definitely something that I've been in introspection about the past few weeks, because I pay attention to those connections, whether they be deep, whether they be much deeper, or whether they were much deeper or surface level. And I tried to look at it, and I was like, well, what is this teaching me? What is this showing me? Why does this make me so, why does these experiences make me so uncomfortable? And I had to come to terms with the fact that it makes me uncomfortable because that is just something that internally I have never resonated with. I cannot resonate with the vanity because I've never looked at material things as something that determines the worth of an individual. What the fuck is external factors gonna do for the internal aspect of an individual? Again, your heart is valuable to me. Your moral compass is valuable to me. Your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health is worth it to me. So since we are at a point, because, you know, once you wake up and then you tap into yourself and different things like that, you get really tired of the 3D aspect really fucking quick. I'm here because, again, I gotta be here to do my job. I obviously signed up for this shit. So we're here. But I've reached a point where it's like, I feel not the need to seclude myself in that sense, but it's just, I pull back my energy a lot, because it's just like, I'm just not in the business of consistently trying to prove my worth, or consistently trying to let everybody know, hey, I'm a good person, because I don't have on Jordans. Like, I don't know. It's just not my thing. And it's a lot of us that are struggling, not struggling, I refuse to say I'm struggling with it. It's a lot of us that sit with that, and we wonder, like, okay. And then you get to asking those questions like, well, source, why don't I have all of these aspects and all of these different things? But I have to be grateful, because in this moment, I got to understand that, like, girl, you never conformed to this system fully. You held shit down for the sake of survival. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you moving from an island and you get put in a hood and shit like that. Yeah, you have to put on the roles and you got to put the mask on and different things. So yeah, I've learned a lot of different things. But vanity, baby, that shit never stuck. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna tell you this: if you know that you are a higher vibrational being and you are still feeding your ego by focusing on materialistic things. If the determination of your vessel, your spirit and your soul, baby, is based off of physical items instead of your overall internal energy and self, then you have a long fucking way to go. And you will not be able to elevate or grow or ascend to any higher levels consciously until you shed that dead weight. You are more than your car and your clothes and your shoes and your accolades. You are more than your degrees and your certifications and this and the third. You're more than your house. You are more than the money in your account. Having money is a beautiful thing. Wealth and abundance is a beautiful thing. That's how it's supposed to be. But when you attain those things and then you look down at the next person simply because they are not in the position or have the state of mind to where they give a fuck about any of those things that you've accumulated, then you need to search within seriously and have a conversation with self and be like, self gonna be like, yeah, what the fuck was that about? Who have I become that I would treat a person horribly? Or I would bully a person, or I would laugh at a person, or I would mock, or whatever the fuck y'all do. In order to make myself feel better, because I have to overcompensate with the material things because I have nothing to offer that is worth substance. That is of substance. Value yourself enough to be worth more than fabric. Love yourself enough to understand that it is okay if you're up, and it is also okay if you're down. You are still great. You are still the same individual with the same heart. But I really need y'all to get that shit together. Because let me tell you something, and this goes to the men. Women too. I only say men because right now the divine feminines are waking up before the divine masculines. That's what it's looking like energetically. But if you are actively as a woman or man, whatever, if you are actively still basing who you connect with intimately on material things, then source will give your divine partner away to another fucking person. Do you understand? Ain't nothing to switch the vessel out. Because let me explain to you as a divine being, that shit is unbecoming. It's actually quite a turnoff. It's actually quite repulsive. I actually get physically sick when I see someone really flaunt and base their entire existence upon the physical things that they have attained. You cannot feed my spirits with that. You cannot feed a divine being with that. We like truth. We like honesty. We like transparency. We like the ability to be able to see you without the 50-lemon mask that you feel like you need to put on in order to be deemed acceptable on a social stance. Who you are externally is not at all who you are internally. And I really need you to grasp that. You have to be comfortable whether or not you got on a $2 outfit or you got on a $2,000 outfit. Your energy needs to shit the same, babe. We are too attached to these physical things. Too attached. And if you do not value yourself enough to know better and to do better, then you are not going to be able to grow on a spiritual level. And that is what is important. Everything else doesn't fucking matter. All you're doing is just experiencing the energy of feeding your ego, of getting those things. And I'm not saying nice things, because best believe, when shit gets to the point, I bet you gonna see me in some shit now. But once you see me in that shit, you should already know, yeah, Sam got a shit ton of investments and assets already. Lineage already straight. So I'm sorry, but not too sorry to them people that thought I was disposable, or all the other high vibrational beings. Yeah. Y'all feel like are disposable. All because at the time that you met us, we may not have looked the way that you thought we should look. But again, I always say this, clothes can be bought. Your moral compass can't. Your heart can't. Your stance on life can't be bought. So I'm taking this learning lesson. And it's not even a rejection kind of thing. It's not even a, oh my God, why do I not want to be? So thank you. Because I wouldn't want any of those individuals around me once I'm at the level that I know you can rob me blind. We all gonna be broke again. And I don't speak broke over my life. I don't do that. So I would just rather clip it all away and just not be okay with you detaching. Because you're right, baby. I ain't got it as far as the will to feed into the vanity shit. But that doesn't mean I don't look short of greats when I step outside. That doesn't mean that I haven't been in rooms with the very same people who would snoot their nose down. I've done that. So I didn't miss out because I didn't spend $300 on a belt. I didn't miss out because my home isn't decked out with thousands of dollars of things. I didn't miss out at all, quite frankly. Because the realest nigga in the room is Source, ain't it? And we locked in like that. So really and truly, who else do I need to get cool with? Who else's validation do I need? You cannot have one without the other. Kill the ego. Lose the vanity. Heal yourself. Work on self. And then you will get it back. That's it though. Please use that nugget and really reflect. All of these videos is meant for self-reflection on what you can do to be better. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to live. But what I am saying is that those of us who are really on the 5D and up, child, we getting tired of this vanity shit. We getting real tired of this vanity shit. Okay? Love y'all. I'll tap into the next video.